Hi, it's Kobby Discount here. In this lesson, we will continue our project on how to design a corporate website from scratch using HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, jQuery, and then JavaScript. In our previous lesson, we completed the service section. In this lesson, we will deal with the about section. Before that, let me give some space here. Okay. First, begin with the comment about section. Now we would love to insert an image in the about section. So I'll create a div for that image, and that will be give it an ID of about image. Even before that, let's write a comment here. And then let's give an ID to this. And that will be about. This is for the about image. Now for the about text, you will employ the Bootstrap grid system. So as I said earlier on, class container. Within that, you have class row. Within that, I'm sure you have guessed what will go here already by now. Colon. We use MD, medium device, and then we will use 4. So 4 colons for this. Having done this, now we will need a box to contain our text, and the box will be in between this div, the colon div. So div, and we will give it an ID of. Should complete it for me. An ID of, let's say, about box. About box. Within that, you will have another div, and then we will call it, we give it an ID, and then we call it about box outer. Within this, we will have another div, we give it an ID, and then we will call it about box inner. We close. Within this div, you have another div, and we will call it, that will be for the about title. You get it? We give it a class, we will call it about title. And then we will add the animations we use for the service section. Just fade up. So let me just copy it. But let me copy up to here. Okay, so that is it. You use this, and then within this div, of course, we will have the about itself, the h3, about us, and then beneath it you have another div. You give it a class and call it about title underline. Close your div, and there you have it. Now beneath this div, you add our about description here. So you add another div, give it an ID, call it about description, and then within it we will have our paragraph. As usual, we will go for some dummy text. So the extension we installed earlier on, I said you just write lorem and then you press tab, and there you have it. Next, you add a button to the about section. So beneath the about description div, you create another div, and then you give it an ID about btn for button. And then within this, you create an anchor point, give it a class, you use the LG, the large. You should be familiar with the bootstrap buttons by now. We have btn, LJ, we also have btn primary, we have secondary, and what have you. You can go to the bootstrap site and then check them out for yourself. The text for this button will be our work, and then we will create a link for it. Earlier on, we used a particular button, a general button. We used it earlier on. Okay. We give it a link. We link it to our work, and then we will give it, let's say, a role of button to save. Now let's have a look at our work in the browser. So we scroll down, and there we have it. As you can see, the browser, the animation has affected the about us also. Have a look at it again. See, it's floats in. You understand? Now let's continue. Now, having done that, let's begin styling our work. So go to CSS, and then begin styling our work. First, our comments. You mustn't forget this, it's very important. So this will be about section. First thing we have here is the about box, and it's an ID. It's an ID. So I believe you know how to start an ID by now. Use the hash, followed by the name, and then the curly braces. Now first, I want you to have a height of 600, and then should float to the left, because we'll be putting an image at the right. Okay. Next, we have about box outer. It's also an ID. We have the width. We want the width to be 100%. Of course, height will follow 100% as well. And then I want it to display as a table. Next, I have the about box inner. You can be having a look at your work. Any CS, if you add a little bit of CSS to it, you can be having a look at your work. For the want of time, you move on. It's also an ID. So, as usual, paste curly braces. Within that, we have a display. We want it to display as table cell, and then it should vertically be aligned, so it should be in the middle. Next, we work on the title, the about us title here, this one. So it's within the about, and then it's within the about title before the H3. So this is how you style it. About title, and then H3. About title, and then H3. Okay. With that, let's align that text. Let's say center. Now next, you will work on about. Then we are working on the underline. Next, after the title, the about us, we have the underline. So we have about title is a class. About title underline. We have next we have about, and then we have the next will be the underline. This one. So we have it's within the about ID. So and it's a class. Okay. So about title underline. Now we had a CSS underline for the service section. So just copy this one. So just copy this and then we'll paste it here. Let's have a look. Okay, so there you have it. That's the underline. If I refresh it, you see it better. Okay, so that's it. I think it will be better if we transform our text and make it caps. So let's add this thing to it. We have text CSS property, text transform uppercase. There you have it. And if this is caps, then this must also be caps. The services. So we go back. Let's copy this. Go back. There you have it. You add it. And there you have it. Okay. So let's move on. Next we have the P element. So this one. So that is the about description. So we have about description, and then within that we have the P. You add a margin to it, and the margin will be 20 pixels. Let's have a look. Okay, so there's some space here. So next we're going to work on this button. Okay, the button we gave it a class. You know what, let's add another class to this btn. We call this, the other one was btn white. Let's maintain the same name. If the background is white, you wouldn't see what you want to see. The button is there alright, but because the background is white, you wouldn't see what you want to see. So what I'll do is, I'd rather use these colors for the background, and I'll use the text. I'll change the color of the text to white. So then let's give the button another name, btn about. So this is the btn about button, and then we go back to our CSS. We scroll up to the button section. Hope I've not bypassed it. The button section. This is the button section. Then what we do here is we copy this code, we paste it here, and then simple. We change this one to btn about, btn about, btn about. Now better still, let me copy this. Let me just cut it off. We scroll down, we paste it here, we create a comment, we comment it out, and then we about section button, CSS. Yeah, so like I said, this is it. Now the background, because the button is alright, but because the background is white, we can barely see what we want to see. So we go back to the code and we will change the background. When you hover over it, you see the background, what is white, the border is white. We don't want it to be white. You want this color. Copy, paste. Let's have a look. That's the border. You go back again, the text itself, the color, paste, have a look. Okay, so as you can see, it's taking shape. When you hover over it, the background shouldn't be white. The background, if you hover over it, this is the background. Let me have a look again. You hover over it, the background color is, it should be this. Yes, if you hover over it, this is what I want to see. And then the text should be black. This is it. You hover over it, there we have it. This is nice. The next thing we need to do is to align this box. So we'll go back to our code. The ID is about btn. Just beneath this, ID about btn, and then just align center. Let's have a look, and there we have it. The next thing we need to do is to add animations to this and then the paragraph. So we go back to our code, and then of course go back to the index.html, copy this, and then what we do is to add it to the about description. So we create a class for it, and just add it. Get rid of one of these. Next, we create a class for this as well. You add it. Get rid of one of that. Let's get back to our browser. Scroll up, refresh. Okay. This is okay. There we have it. So refresh. Refresh. If you can't see, you add a break here. Earlier when I said BR is for break, and then when you want to repeat the same thing, you just press on Ctrl D, as if you are using brackets. Ctrl D, and then to repeat it. If you are okay, save, go back to the browser, refresh. There you have it. So let's go up, refresh, scroll down, services is okay, about us, and that is it. Perfect. Next, we need to work on the image for the about us section. The image will appear at the right hand side here, so we need to work on that. We created a div for that, and it was about image. So let's type that. It's an ID. First, let's give it a weight of, let's say a weight of 60%. Height. The height we used earlier on for the whole about section was 600. So 600, and then float right. We need it to be here, over here. So we are floating right. Background image. The image, location of the image. You choose the right image. I'll use any of the images I have here. I'll go in for this, Let's have a look. Okay, that is it. You can choose any image you want. It can be your image, it can be an image from your firm or whatever. You can choose any image that you want. Okay. Now, so far, this is where you've got into. I think we are making progress. You can change the image if you want to. Now, the next thing we need to do is, if I should refresh it, realize that this side, the left hand side, has an animation applied to it. So we need to add an animation to this also. Animation effect to this side also. Go back. That's very simple. You go back to the code and you copy this. Copy it. And then you add it here. So I'll use fade in down. Fade in down. Fade in down. And there we have it. Okay, refresh. Scroll down. Scroll down. That is it. Beautiful. This facing up and this one facing down. Press once more. Scroll down. This one fading up. As this one is fading up, this side is fading it down. You can choose whatever animation you want to apply to it. This is what I want to use. Okay, so that will be all for this section. We will continue in another section. See you next time.